Hello and welcome to another Transformers video. Going to be a bit different today because I'm using manual focus. Probably a bad idea, but this webcam is old, so it's just like, okay, cool. It's either I use manual focus to focus on the Transformer, because I'm doing a comparison of Springer and the new Springer I just got a few days ago. So yeah, no transformation, I don't think. It'll just be comparing the two and stuff like that. So what I'll do is I'll transform them off camera and compare them that way. So yeah, I need to get this guy into that form, and I'll be right back once that's done. But yeah, I'm gonna see how autofocus handles it, but for now it'll be just me. So be right back. Alright, gave myself a bit of room here, but yeah, so first thing is I'll compare the weapons. So I kinda like the Amazon weapons better than like the yeah, I'm gonna have to manually autofocus for this. So I kind of like the grey better than the, oh, god damn it. I kind of like the grey better for these because it brings out the details a bit better. Like, sure, this is nice, but the grey plastic really brings out the detail a lot better. Same with the swords. Another sword over there, but that doesn't matter. Same with the sword. So sword detail comes out way better along the grey sword more than the blue sword. So that's much nicer. I don't know, and honestly, the grey makes a lot more sense than what whatever these fucking colours are. I don't know, it's weird. Like, even this, it's like, oh yeah, this makes way less sense because when you have it in helicopter form, it looks like that, which is weird. Like, when you actually put this on there like that, it looks weird. Like, yeah, it spins, but it looks weird because the colours don't match. Like, the blue doesn't really match up with the rest of the helicopter, except for like the back section, which was one of my biggest complaints. So detail wise, we've got, do I have to manually focus it again? I think I do. And that should be enough. But yeah, detail wise, we've got the, I'm just going to put this down. So detail wise, we've got the battle wear along the along the green, and then we've got battle wear along the yellow, and on the bottom here, we've got battle worn along the legs, where the legs would be. And then we've also got the battle wear along the back section, which which is fine, it's whatever. And then you've got the translucent along the top here, which is fine again. But compared to the new version, like you get that nice clean finish, and the colors a bit more varied. So you got the grey along here. You got the grey along there. You still got the yellow. Like, that's nice. You've got a new symbol here. You got the blue. You got the green along here, which is nice. But and this is one thing that's always kind of bothered me about the Siege version, is you've got so the way this version works is you've got all along here is your grey, and only a little bit of shit. I just dropped a weapon. Yeah, that's fine. I'll find it later. Actually, I'll find it now. Just pause real quick. Okay, that's all well good. So we've got. So for this, we've got, like, it's more uniform. Like, you get more of the. It's more military-like. It's more something you'd see in the military more than whatever this is. So it's just like, oh yeah, look. When you're looking at this, it's like, oh yeah, it's green, like military stuff, but then it's got like this boring ass fucking blue, which clashes in with this section. And then you've got like the weird. Oh yeah, this is all green, but then the back section's all blue, which is weird. I don't know. They didn't really think that part through. Whereas here, they've improved it by having it all mostly military style. So yeah, I'm not going to dwell too much on this. I'm going to go through a little detail that they put in the new manual, and I did not know about this, but apparently in robot mode, I'm going to show this off in vehicle mode, but in robot mode, apparently, and I did not know this, apparently you can have the gun like that, which is cool, which is fine. But then, instead of doing it like that, oh wait, no, I'm doing it wrong. Of course I'm doing it wrong. Is it that? Yeah, it's that. Yeah, so if you've got the weapon like this, and you can do this with the original as well. So it's just like, if you've got the weapon like this, and you do it like that, and then you've got these which clip onto the side here, like that. They clip on the side like that. You've got storage for all the weapons. So it's like that. Like, I didn't even know this was a thing until I got this version. Until I got this version of the toy, and they improved the manual for it. So I didn't even know that was a thing. But yeah, because I used to do it like, the way I used to do it was I'd have that like that, and then I'd have weapons in like that. So I'd have it like that. So I'd have it like that. But then the issue was it would move around. And I, for whatever reason, because my dumb brain didn't think of it, I never thought to do like that. Like I never even considered that to be an option. But yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, it does make perfect sense. But at the time, it was just like, oh yeah, no, that's totally not. One thing I do like about this version is the translucency of that compared to that is a bit more solid. So you're not seeing the green bleed. You're not seeing the bleed. Wow, Blue, just talk. You're not seeing. So you're not seeing the green bleeding through the cockpit, which I never really liked. So it's better here because you see mostly just blue, which I really like. I'll just pause and get it to the helicopter forms. Okay, so one little detail that I have to point out when transforming Springer is that when you're transforming him, you got to make sure that these sections here, make sure these sections here are properly aligned. Otherwise, it's not going to transform properly. And what you're going to do, and what's going to end up happening, is your foot sections here are going to end up getting caught on these spots here. So yeah, I just thought I'd point that out while I'm transforming. Okay, so I'm back again. Another little detail you could do when you're transforming Springer is if you're having trouble lining this up, line it up with this section first before you push it into this section up here first, because that lines it up perfectly. It may sound weird, but I'll show you. So, oh no, don't pull on that. Okay, so I'll show you what I mean. So when that, because it's got a point here, that goes into a point in here, like right there. So that'll go into there. So when that lines up with when. Oh wait, no, it's here. It's that one there. So when that lines up with that, that lines up with that, and then you can just do it like that. So when that, I'm so not used to this. So you can hear that click. That means, oh, if you keep your thumb on it, that'll show you what you're doing right. So when you hear that click, that means it's in. You can let go. And you're making a liar out of me. Of course you are. Of course you are. Okay, so I didn't have that lined up properly. So that needs to line up with that hinge there. That's why it didn't work. Is I didn't have the hinge lined up. And it's also misaligned. Because of course it is. Alright, what's happening here? Alright, I'm gonna pause. You don't need to see this. You don't need to see this. Okay, so you can tell when you're doing it wrong when this hinge along here isn't lining up with that. So you can tell from this side that it's lined up properly, but this side's not. Okay, and here's why. So for this model transformation to work, you got to make sure these are perfectly straight, like this. Otherwise, it will not transform correctly. Okay, after a bit of fiddling, I figured out what my problem was. So don't turn this section. Only turn this section when you're going to helicopter mode. Because if these are backwards, like if you have the shins backwards, or I guess thighs, these will not align properly, so that it's not a clean transformation. So you never need to turn this panel around. You never need to turn that, because otherwise, so I'll just show you. So if I'll just show you. So if it looks like this, if it looks like that, you're doing it wrong. Because you only need to turn, there's a spot here, there's a hinge, there's a pivot here. If you're turning that, you're correct. If you're turning the whole thigh, you're doing it wrong. So you never want that screw showing. You never want that screw showing in the back, because otherwise you're doing it wrong and nothing aligns up properly. See, I'm doing it correct now because the thighs are showing correctly. Like, you never turn that. This is very important. You never turn that, because otherwise nothing aligns. That's the whole issue I was having. Yep, now everything is aligning perfectly because of that one mistake. This is what I mean, is when you transform something wrong, shit tends to go wrong. And yeah, this is a good lesson to have. Make sure you transform your stuff correctly when you're a transformer geek like me. But yeah, that is done. All I have to do now is put the helicopter rotors on, which is this, now mine doesn't transform, mine doesn't rotate as much as my current one, as my Siege one, because this version of my helicopter is brand new. So yeah, you can see that these rotors fit this form way better because it's more uniform to how the rest of the transformer looks. Okay, I'm going to see if autofocus will. Okay, it does. Cool. So you'll see here that the transformation looks a bit better because the rotors actually look normal. Yeah, that looks more natural. Just be careful rotating these, because if you rotate it wrong, if you flick it wrong, so fun story, when in my original footage, because this is my second time recording this, this went flying off and it went all the way up there. So that was actually kind of impressive. Is that went flying off? That went flying off all the way up there, up next to the penguins, up top. So that was actually kind of impressive that happened. So yeah, but yeah, I love this form way better. I love this design way better than the Siege version. So I'll just get rest of guns here, because what I like to do is I like to have the design this. Yeah, I like having it designed like that because it looks more natural. The manual would wants you to have the design like this, which looks fine. I don't mind that, but I like it better on top. Oh my god. For this reason too, because it's actually really hard to get the guns out once you put it in like that. Unfortunately, you can't have it up here because then that interferes with the rotor. Otherwise, I'd have it up there. But yeah, no, this is my favorite spot because this looks better. Thank you. And this is another complaint I have for the Siege version of Springer, because I don't need to transform him for this. So I'll just grab the guns, which are over here. So I've got the guns here. If I do that same setup here, it looks dumb. Like, it looks completely unnatural because you got blue on green, which looks silly. I don't know. The color choices are very weird. Same thing if I do. It's actually worse if you do it like this, because it's like, oh yeah, now you've got too many colors going on. So it's just like, okay, cool. So you've got a deep green here, a light green along here, and then you've got like blue, and then you've got like yellow along the bottom. I do miss the yellow going. I do miss the yellow going along here. I kind of wish they'd kept that going. I kind of wish I'd kept the yellow going along these parts. But at the same time, it's like, okay, cool. This is a bit better because at least, oh, and they added green along here, which is nice. I guess to make up for that, which is pretty cool. Now I'll just get these guys into robot mode, and I'll show you how it looks in robot mode. Actually, while I'm thinking of it, the whole reason why you don't want these guys turned around is because when you're going into robot mode, when you're going into robot mode from helicopter mode, you don't want to turn anything, because turning that will naturally put you in the correct spot anyway. So you don't need to do anything for that. Oop. And then, see, this is what I mean, is once you've done that, you don't need to do anything else. So I'll just do it on camera so you can see. So once that's up like that, you just turn the thing, do that, make sure it's in. Like, Springer's transformation is incredibly simple. See? There's his legs already. Okay, just while I'm transforming him, it's extremely important you don't lose these panels at all. Otherwise, you'll never be able to transform him correctly. Because these panels are very important, and that's how they get the arms to. So just show you what I mean here. So this section here, showcases what I can. This section here, this black section, can't really see it. This needs to line up with this section here. Okay, I need to manually focus. Yeah, I need to manually focus because this is not great. So this section here needs to go with this section here because there's an invisible hole here that you can't really see. God, the light for this thing is useless. But yeah, I thought I'd point. Yeah, okay, so it's very I managed to get in. So it's very important that this section lines up so that this section here, just move it. So this hole here needs to line up with this section here. That's why this panel is very important. You never want to lose this panel because otherwise you cannot transform spring at all. So that will pop in like that. And now that's popped in like that. So you and that's this panel here is held in by very delicate very delicate hinge. So you don't want to ever lose that because otherwise you'll never transform Springer. Which is why my siege. This is why I bought this one because my siege one. This panel is coming off, so that's why I bought a new one. But yeah, just there we go. Now they're both lined up. Oh, that didn't go in. Come on. Okay, there we go. Now it's in. Okay, cool. Now it's in. So they don't really showcase this in the manual, but there's a hidden spot here. You can't really see it, but there's a hidden spot here that I've got my nail in it right now. There's a hidden spot there that will peg in to that right there. So that'll peg into that right there. So that's how that stays in place. Okay, so while I've got this here, I'm going to showcase what the new manual shows me. So because how I used to do it was actually incorrect. So I'd do it like that and have it like that, which would just flop around. Apparently that's wrong, and they addressed this. And what you're actually supposed to do is have it like that, so that that's upside down, and then that is like that. So that'll be like that, which to me looks ridiculous, but it's still storage. Like, to me that just looks like a fucking dick hanging down, but it's still storage, so it's just like, okay, cool. And then the manual says that the swords will hang on there like that, so you get that kind of look to it. Which, yeah, that looks perfectly silly, but it's storage. Well, there's not much else you can do with that. I'm going to show you what I like to do instead of this, so stay tuned. But, okay, cool, and we're back. So we got the final comparison here. So I'm just So yeah, it's not going to work. Yeah, that's good enough. So we've got different head sculpts for starters. So we've got, I kind of like this head sculpt better because we've got a bit more colour than what we've got here, but that's fine. We've got the weathered look on Siege Springer, which is fine. This is a nice clean version of Springer. I was going to throw out the Siege Springer or give it to someone else, but I don't know, I've kind of grown attached to it. Like now that so it's on this right shoulder, that this panel's not working properly, but it's kind of grown on me. I kind of like both. I kind of like having both versions because it's actually pretty nice to have two. It's weird because I've got like two versions of Ironhide as well. I've got the Dynaclone black version of Ironhide, and I've got like the red version of Ironhide. But and they're the same figure, but one is the Siege version, and the other is the Earthrise version. But yeah, so what I like to do, I'll just show this off. So, and this doesn't really work for the Siege version, but what I like to do is I like to have the guns on his arms, because that looks cool. So he can still shoot, because that's established that they can still shoot from their guns, even if they're not on. Even they're not. Okay, sure. This is not going well. But yeah, they can still have the guns, but then they can also still have their swords. So I like to have it like that. I think that's Springer telling me to close the video here. So, yeah, that'll be... Oh god, that's terribly unfocused. There we go. So that'll be it for this video, and I'll see you in another video. I wanted to do this video because, yeah, I found it very interesting just how different... It's interesting. They're the same toy, but at the same time they're not. It's very strange. But yeah, I thought I'd do a video and showcase what my opinions of it were. I don't know. The Siege version is a bit too toyish for my liking, but this version's like a more cleaner, more uniform version. It's very strange. It's very strange, very interesting, and yeah, that'll be it for this video.